backward thinking. You know, as I go through life, I am learning more and more about it. Anybody had to make some difficult decisions in life? And our thoughts or our decisions can certainly redefine our direction, and it can shape our lives. There is a lesson to every experience. We've all had some experiences. However, one usually doesn't figure out the lesson until well after the experience. That's usually the problem, right? Some people have to live with the knowledge that only after losing someone that they truly love, that they realize what they had. Or how about the choices we make that when we feel that we're making the best decision for our lives, or when we consciously decide to do something only to later realize that it was the wrong choice, the wrong person, the wrong place. And in life, we all will be faced with something that is described a defining moment. So what is this defining moment? What is this defining moment? Well, I like to describe defining moments as a point in time where one gains clarity about something that has long eluded them. When one consciously decides or consciously chooses to do something or not to do something. Or when something becomes so obvious as a noose around our necks. There is no set course for when we will reach these places in our lives. There's no way to tell. In fact, these things, these defining moments, sometimes they just show up out of the blue. In some cases, the rain. Some of y'all get that on the way home. The funny thing about this is that when we have these defining moments, these moments of clarity, we usually say to ourselves, what in the world was I thinking? Now, the first thing that we need to realize about these defining moments is that defining moments radically alter the course of our lives. These moments come and these moments go. And within each moment, we need to realize that there are opportunities. And if we don't take advantage of these opportunities when they come in our defining moments, then what happens is the opportunity leaves with the moment. The second thing we need to understand about defining moments is that time is a tyrant. Time is a tyrant, and it can consume choices that are left unmade. The only choices that live are the ones that are taken. The only choices that live are the ones that are taken. But even when there is these choices for us to make, there's some momentary delay. Momentary delay. But the good news is that when we choose to do good and we choose to follow God, nothing can stop us from fulfilling our purpose in God. When you know what God has called you to do, nothing can stop you from being in God's will. Now, have you ever felt that you were the only one who made all the right decisions? You made all the right choices because your decisions were the right decisions. Your way was the best way. You were the one in control, so you made all the right choices. Some of y'all looking at y'all partners funny. But everyone around you, it ever feels like everyone around you seems to be holding up God, seems to be holding up the move of God in your life. You're trying to go forward, but everything around you is holding you hostage, keeping you stuck in your pain, stuck in your rejection, stuck in your resentment because things are holding you down. Find ourselves in this position. And as we look at the story of Caleb, I believe that Caleb was feeling the same pressure. Caleb had gone to spy like the other 12 or the other 11 to see the Canaan land. And Caleb was with them, Pastor Bird. He was there with them, and here he is. He's coming back, and it seems as if he's the only one who caught it. It seems like he's the only one who got it. Ever felt like that before? Ever felt like you were the only one who got it and everybody else didn't get it? Did you? This is how Caleb was feeling in our text today. Caleb could not understand why he was looking at one thing and they were looking at the same thing and they saw something different. Ever been in that position before where you're looking at the same thing but not everybody is seeing what you're seeing? You see what God wants you to do. You see where God wants you to go, but nobody else sees it but you. Woo! I feel God. Caleb wanted to seize the moment. Caleb wanted to seize the moment. Caleb, he recognized that this was an opportunity. This was a defining moment for him. This was the time for him to change. He was at his defining moment. But the other people had a defeatist attitude. They didn't understand. They didn't understand. I'm preaching my own testimony now. Pastor, I know you know what I'm talking about. It seems like you got the vision right before you, but the people. Woo! I told y'all there's something about the people. My God. Now, what's interesting as we get into our text, and I'll try to do this as quickly as possible. What's interesting is that here you have the children of Israel. They had just come through 40 years in the desert. 40 years in the desert, and you know, God had already delivered them from bondage. God had already taken them out of their dry land, out of their Egypt, and now they're wandering in the desert 40 years. Why? Because of disobedience, because they were not satisfied. They were not happy because they wanted more. Anybody know somebody like that? Never satisfied. No matter what I do, you're still unsatisfied, ungrateful. You got to tell people like that to shut the front door. Woo. 40 years. 40 years. And found themselves going around and around. The promised land was over there, but they were lost. Going around in circles, round and round they go. Where they stop, no one knows. Round and round. Anybody ever been in that place before? When you find yourself going round and round in circles, you're trying to get it right, but you can't get it right. You're trying to do the right thing. You're trying to get away from that person, but here they go texting you. There they go calling you at night. You're trying to do it right, but there they go round and round. Woo! Round and round. Thank you.